Hello children, today we will see the topic plants. So in the previous recorded video I have explained what are the different parts of the plant, what are the functions of the root, what are the types of root system we will find and what are the root modifications. Till there we have seen very clearly. Now let us continue further. Now we will see about the plants. Okay. So next, after the root system, we are having shoot system. It includes stem, leaf, flower and fruit. You can see the image of the shoot system which I kept. There you can see the leaves are arising there. No, at some point. The roots and the leaves where they are arising, that point is called as node. Okay, it is called as node. So in between two nodes, we are calling it as internode. Okay, you can see the image very clearly. The point where the leaf arises, that point is called as node. Like that on the stem, there will be many nodes. So the distance between two nodes is called as an internode. Next, at the tip of the stem, you can find an axillary bud. Because of the axillary bud only, the plant can grow, means the stem can grow till the taller part, means it can grow in lengthwise. Okay, next, after that, what do you mean by stem? It is the part of the plant that is seen above the ground and always it will grow vertically upwards. So who will be responsible for growing vertically upwards? Axillary bud. You can see a small bud there over here. Yes, this is the axillary bud. Because of the axillary bud only, the stem can grow vertically upwards. Now we will see functions of the stem. What is first main function? It supports the plant. It exposes leaves, flowers and branches to the sunlight to get sunlight. All the parts will be exposed to sun. Next, it conducts water and food to different parts of the plant. Here I want to explain some in detail. Actually, who is absorbing water and minerals from the soil? Roots. Okay. Then, who is preparing food for the plant? Leaf. When leaf wants to prepare the food means it require water. When the leaf wants to prepare food for the plant means it requires water. So how do they get water? They get water with the help of stem only. Why? Because stem it will be taking water from the root and it will give the leaf. So then the leaf will prepare food by the process called as photosynthesis. Next, when the leaf will prepare food for the plant, at that time leaf will prepare the food in the form of starch. That starch it should reach to all parts of the plant or not. So at that time again who is transporting that food? Again same stem only. So the stem conducts water and food both. That means it brings food from the leaf and it gives to all parts of the plant. So that's why here we will be studying about the stem, that it has two-way transport mechanism. Two-way transport mechanism means it will take water from the roots and it will transport to all parts of the plant, especially leaves where the photosynthesis will be carried. Next, at the same time, when leaves will prepare food for the plant, at that time food will be transported to all parts of the plant by the help of stem. So in this way, we can tell that stem will be having two-way transport mechanism. So these are many most important functions of the stem. So apart from these functions, they have some modifications, means they will have some special functions that we will see now here. Storage of food. In the previous recorded video, I have told about storage roots. There we have studied about the carrot, radish, turnip, beetroot we have studied. Now here in the stems, we will be finding about potato, onion and ginger. There is some difference. Okay, in the storage of food, actually these stems are underground. Potato you will find under the soil, ginger you will find under the soil, onion you will find under the soil. But actually it is a stem. It is not root. Best example that whether it is a root or not means once you take an onion, at the bottom part of the onion you can find a bunch of roots. Okay, next. So what happens means when the leaves will prepare food, at that time the extra food, the extra starch, it will go and assemble or accumulate in the stem. So that's why in potato is it is nothing but an example of a tuber. Okay, onion, it is a bulb. Ginger is a rhizome. Means in higher classes you will study about the onion means like bulb means it will be growing in a vertical way like this, and ginger in a horizontal way it spreads in the ground. Okay, so these are the modifications of stem for the storage of food. Now second we will see about the protection. Some plants like bougainvillea and rose have thorns that protect the plants from predators. You can see the image of a rose plant here. On the stem itself, we can see the thorns. Why do they have thorns? Means if at all any herbivore or any animal, it comes and eat away the leaves, for that reason, to get protected, it will be having thorns. Predators are nothing but enemies. Whoever will eat that plant. Okay. Next is vegetative propagation. The ability of a plant to reproduce by forming new plants from their vegetative parts such as stems and leaves but not from flowers. Means actually the flowers are responsible for the reproduction. Flowers will be turning into fruits. When the fruits will be open at that time seeds will be present. When you are sowing seeds in the soil we will get a small baby plant. But here in the vegetative propagation means other than the flower, whichever parts are responsible for reproduction means for giving rise to new plants. Such method is called as vegetative propagation. It is very easy. When you are seeing this plant image here, actually it is a pistia plant. The horizontal stems will be growing on the water itself, along the side. So whenever it gets separated from the mother plant, it can grow individually. In some plants, you can find along with the mother plant only, the baby plants will also be growing. When it gets detached, it can grow independently. For example, now I'm taking about the previous slide itself. Here you can see the storage roots. In the storage roots, actually they too have the capacity of growing. Means they too have the capacity of growing it separately, like giving rise to plants, other plants. For example, ginger is there. Don't take the peel of the ginger. You take complete half, little 1 inch part of the ginger. And if you are sowing it under the soil, after few days, after nearly 8 to 10 days, you will be observing the direct leaves will be grown on the soil. And bottom, when you dig out and you can see the ginger part, it will be expanded. Means the ginger will be growing. Means it has the capacity to grow. In and one more example also you can see potato. In your at your homes also you will be observing potatoes. When you are leaving on the table itself without using it for nearly for 8 to 10 days, you can observe small white color structures. That white color structures are called as eyes. EYES eyes. So when that part of the potato is cut and sown in the soil, again you will get a potato plant. Means these stems are even used for vegetative propagation also. Okay, they have the capacity. Next, how the plants will be having the modification to support. Okay, for example, plants like climbers and creepers, you know very well in your lower classes you have studied. What do you mean by climbers? What do you mean by creepers? Actually, they have weak stems. They cannot stand erect on their own. So they need support to grow. So what they will be doing means when you are observing these plants, they need support. For example, when you are taking the climbers or else creepers, climbers they will be taking the support of a wall or a wooden pole like that. And when you are observing for a creeper, the creeper they will creep on the wall. They creep on the ground. So such kind of plants are called as creepers. So that creepers you can find as example as watermelon. Okay. For climbers, you can take an example of a grapevine or bitter gourd. Next, when you will come to the leaves arises from the nodes of the stems and branches. You know it very well. Okay. When you will observe the shape or the structure of a leaf, Already you have studied in class 4. The exposed part of the leaf is called leaf lamina or else leaf blade. And there will be a middle line which is passing from the center of the earth. That is called, so from the center of the leaf. That main vein, it is called as midrib. From the side also other lines will be passing and they are called as veins. The stalk of the leaf is called petiole. Okay, this is the general structure of a leaf where you have studied in your even in your class 4 also. Next, based on the arrangement of leaves, venation, it is called as venation. What do you mean by venation? The arrangement of veins on the lamina of a leaf is called as venation. So there are two types of venations. They are parallel venation and reticulate venation. In the parallel venation, you can see lines will be going parallelly from the tip of the leaf to the starting of the leaf. The leaf end is called as leaf tip. So from there, the lines will be passing directly. But whereas when you will see in the reticulate venation, you can find a middle midrib. On the midrib, again, you will be observing lateral veins. This is the difference between parallel venation and reticulate venation. Next, what is the function of the leaves? Already in the starting of my class, I told leaves have most important function. What is that? Photosynthesis. They perform photosynthesis. What do you mean by photosynthesis? In the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, they can prepare their own food with the help of carbon dioxide and water. So what do they prepare? They prepare glucose. Glucose is nothing but sugar. And at the same time, they release oxygen. Okay, next, plants breathe through stomata present on their leaves. Transpiration is another important function of leaves. It is the process by which plants get rid of excess water in the form of water vapor through their stomata. This I have to give an example. For example, whenever the plants will be taking water during the photosynthesis, some water will be left over. So that leftover water they will release again into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. From where? From the holes present on the leaf. They are called as stomata. That is the reason in winter season you will be observing when you are walking with barefoot on the grass, you can observe there will be wetness on the grass. Why? Because due to transpiration. And even in water cycle also you have studied along with evaporation because of the transpiration from the trees we are getting water vapor and that water vapor it releases and it gets accumulated in the clouds means here plants are responsible even for occurrence of rains also. Okay, next, what are the modifications of leaves? They are tendrils. You can observe the first image. In some plants, leaves are modified into slender, often closely coiled structures known as tendrils. Very thin. This you can observe in the pea plant. You can observe. Leaf spines. This you can have the example of cactus in desert plant. Actually, stem will be performing the photosynthesis and as well as it store extra food. So what happens to the leaves? The leaves are modified into spines. Actually, they have two functions. They are even used for defensive purpose. Defensive means if the predator comes, it cannot attack that. Okay, that is the first reason. And second, to avoid the rate of transpiration also, leaves are modified into spines. Why? Because if leaves are there, more rate of transpiration occurs. So to avoid that rate of transpiration, leaves are modified into spines. Means they can store extra water in that plant itself. Why? Because they will not get water properly. Why? Because it is a desert plant. Next one is scale leaves. These are typically thin, dry, stalkless and membranous structures, usually brownish in color or sometimes colorless. This just you have to take an example of a onion, just you have to cut it and you can observe. Their function is to protect the young leaf bud that they enclose. Small, tiny, completely white color bud will be present. For that bud to give protection, all the scale leaves will be encircling the bud. Okay, that is its function. Next, flowers, fruits and seeds I will explain in the next video. Thank you. Hope you have understood. the lesson till now, till the leaves. So in this video, I have explained about stems and leaves. Thank you.